So I guess we're live now. So,
Yay, there we go.
hi everybody. Oh my god. Oh,
Good afternoon.
carpet's all messed up.
Ah, dang.
There we go. Okay, hey.
Wait, should we be recording this?
Yes.
Okay.
So today we are going to do a number of things. We have done a number of things, and we're going to continue to do a number of things.
Busy day.
We've done an ad. We've done an ad for Anchor.
Hell yeah.
Sounds great. And we've done excuse me, a little gassy this morning. Done an ad for our own podcast.
A trailer, if you will.
Trailer, if you will. If you are yourself a movie podcast and would like to switchity sweep swap ads, trailers, let us know.
Or, just any old podcast. If you want to, yeah, we're not picky. We'll do an ad swap.
We're thirsty for it. I'm stalling so Joe has time to.
Yeah, I misinterpreted the order of operations for some things.
I was speaking another language when I was yelling at you.
That's true. I was really concerned as to why you were shouting at me in just guttural noises that I assume were either Germanic or Slavic. I'm not sure.
That's the language I speak at work. I don't know.
Klap.
I got cat hair in my Pop-Tart.
Definitely Mountain Dew or crab juice.
But once he does, we're going to talk about some of our favorite Halloween things.
Sweet Christ. There we go. Okay.
Specifically,
enjoy my sweaty fucking forehead, everybody.
Oh,
yeah,
you can see that.
You can read about it. I guarantee nobody can read that.
I can barely read it.
I can barely read it. We're in the room with it, and it is inscrutable to us.
So, my partner Belinda sent me this spooky season movie challenge calendar. I don't know who originally made it. I apologize. I would love to credit you, but I don't know your name. So Joe here is going to take us through the 31 days of Halloween.
Yes, and I've got it pulled up on my phone, so it's actually legible.
We're gonna do a little chit chat before we go into our actual recording of Troll 2.
Yes, which is I'm excited and terrified to hear what happens with that, but yeah, we wanted to have a little bit of fun here. This is our favorite time of year, so we want to, we want to share that with everybody and dig into some of the, some of the fun.
Great, Joe. What's day one look like?
So, okay, day one, the first horror movie you remember watching.
This was really hard. I had a really hard time with this one. It's probably of the 31 questions. This is the one I didn't really know. So I wasn't allowed to really watch anything spooky or scary growing up. Like Jurassic Park was off limits when it first came out. What, 93 or something like that. So I had to really think back to what did I get away with, and TCM had a Universal Monsters marathon, and I was like off sick from school and caught the Frankenstein one.
Oh, excellent.
But like not Frankenstein or Bride of Frankenstein, the ones that are considered good, but Ghost of Frankenstein, which is
Ghost of Frankenstein?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this.
You don't need to be. I don't really remember anything about it. I think the one like after that is like Frankenstein versus the Wolfman, so at least you have that. And I did watch that one, but Ghost of Frankenstein was first, and it was just like it was like the B grade of a B grade movie.
Like what's the plot line of this?
No memory of it. They're all pretty much the same. Of like, evil doctor makes monster, town gets pissed, monster does naughty, monster dies.
Monster does naughty. That
yeah.
Doesn't that just kind of sum up the whole thing?
Right. I mean, yeah. Not monster does naughty. That's the tagline for Frankenstein's new movie, Frankenstein Viva Las Vegas.
I was concerned we were going to get into another Bruce Willis discussion, just because I can't hear Frankenstein and not think of Tracy Morgan just on the set of Cop Out now. But that's more of a me problem, I think. So first one I can remember watching, I genuinely have no idea if there was anything before this, because my mom was like careful to like not let us watch stuff that was like super scary or like super inappropriate for kids. Like she always made sure we had an HBO subscription because she loves watching movies and the shows that they put together. But she was also like, no, we're not turning the channel on after a certain period of time.
Right, because HBO used to be a little bit more risque back in the day.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, like with real sex and whatnot back in the day, like there was a bunch of shit on there that you should not watch as a child, or in some cases an adult. But the first thing that I really remember watching in terms of horror was a double feature. I was at my dad's, and I remember watching with my stepbrother the original Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween 2.
Which I think that's the one that takes place primarily in a hospital.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
And it supposedly kills off Mike Myers and Dr. Loomis.
Supposedly.
And then they try to do a third movie called Season of the Witch, which I enjoy.
I still haven't seen it. I've heard such bonkers descriptions of that movie, but I still have not seen it.
It's kooky, but it's not like Trolls 2 kooky. It's
nothing can.
And like I think Tom Atkins, who I think is a local-ish actor.
Wait, really?
I want to say I think so. But he stars it anyway. It's great. And then people are like, well, "This isn't Mike Myers," and they're like, "Yeah, he died."
So then they brought him back
Just
for the fourth one.
kidding.
Yeah.
Both him and Dr. Loomis, they gave Donald Pleasance some scar tissue, and he's like, he's fine. They don't talk about it beyond that. Just like he's
fine.
So I wasn't super strict with. So I did have two roles. The one I did away with immediately, which is like just one answer per question. Which fuck that.
Well,
but the other one I did stick to was no repeats.
No,
that was way harder.
That's fair. Yeah, I could definitely understand not wanting to do any repeats. This is a long list. This is like the entire month of October, basically, for you to like talk about on social media and stuff. Like it's that's hard to do. That's genuinely fucking hard to do on here,
So,
especially whenever you get down to like. Whenever it's down to like specific authors or filmmakers,
those ones were easy. Those were the easy ones. It was the broad ones that I was like,
oh shit.
Okay. So the other movie I'm not sure if I saw that first was the original Night of the Living Dead, which like had an effect on me. I wasn't scared. I was just like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Because I was used to just like straightforward Hollywood movies at that point.
It's an excellent goddamn movie.
It's great, and it has a very raw feel to it because it was independent. And I love it. So Day two. Horror sequel that you love. Oh, I fucked up.
We're doing great here, folks.
I think I fucked up. I thought there was one that was like sequels that are better than the original.
Day 6 is remake that is better than the original.
Well, reading's real hard, folks. So not that So I went with Dawn of the Dead, 1978.
Okay.
Which I'm not saying is necessarily better than the original, but I love it. And Hellraiser 2, 1988.
Hellraiser 2 rules.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say I like it better than the first one, but like it's really good. I think we've mentioned this a couple of times now that for a previous podcast attempt, we did a Hellraiser specific episode. And yeah, the first two Hellraisers are genuinely worth watching. Like if you have not done that and you enjoy horror, treat yourself. Watch those this year.
The depiction of hell in Hellraiser 2 is so cool, so spooky.
It is
very eerie. I mean, it's Clive Barker.
It's like peak Clive Barker.
Yeah.
It's like oh god, it's so good.
All right. What do we got for day 3?
Day 3. Great horror film with no sequels.
There were a couple, but I used them elsewhere.
Okay.
So I went with Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods is great.
Which
I do love it. It's such a good like send up of the genre, while still just being reverent and like respectful of the tropes and like the history of it. Like it's extremely well done.
I wouldn't recommend it to somebody who doesn't watch a lot of horror. I mean, it's still probably be great, but if you have that background of having watched a lot of horror films, then you're going to enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah.
You're going to get all the references.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's very sharp. It's like funny as hell.
It's hilarious. Good lord.
But also scary.
there are points of it that are actually like pretty scary, but like
Yeah.
it's not like it's not going to make you lose sleep at night for how scary it is.
No, it might be like, oh, you're afraid of clowns. Well, this 20-second clip will terrify the shit out of you.
You'll never look at unicorns the same again. I will say the one thing though is that there was a lot of controversy around that movie.
Really?
Yeah, supposedly, like I forget if it was specifically leveled at Joss Whedon or at Drew Goddard, but it was suggested that this premise was stolen.
Really?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if it came from another film or from a book. I don't know the specifics of that, but there were accusations of plagiarism leveled for what that's worth.
This was one of the film, because I was a huge Joss Whedon fan back in the day.
Yeah.
Where I followed it from like its first announcement, where it was just Joss Whedon being like, "Here's the title," and then for years I followed its development.
Yep.
And eventually, like, it got put on the shelf, it wasn't released until Chris Helmsworth, who's in it, became Thor, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna milk this Thor money." So
it's a good decision. I mean, Chris Hemsworth rules,
right,
so.
right, and he's great. He's great in that movie too.
Chris Hemsworth is a legitimately like talented comedic actor.
Yeah,
like between that, between
fucking
Thor Ragnarok, between
Ghostbusters.
the 2016 Ghostbusters, like he steals that fucking movie. That last one in particular,
Yeah.
I was actually really pleased. There's a YouTuber that Becca and I watch named Peter Brown. Like he's a maker. He does a lot of stuff with like resin and woodworking and whatnot.
Cool.
Like one of those really satisfying wood turning channels. But he's also got like big dad energy.
Cool.
He's great. And he had a friend on where they were trying to stabilize marshmallows, specifically like the promotional Stay Puft marshmallows.
Oh, okay.
In resin. They were trying to stabilize them in resin for like to keep them for longer, which is a fucking weird thing to do. And he mentions in the video, like, they were talking about like how they got into Ghostbusters and how like, he watched it when he was a kid and all that. And
good friend of the podcast, Aaron, says his first movie was Critters.
Yes, sorry,
I've never seen.
Sorry. The comment just popped up and it completely derailed my train of thought there. So Peter Brown is talking about how he got into Ghostbusters, and he mentions and then I saw the 2016 movie, and that I shouldn't say that I loved. Because apparently he really loved it. So I was like,
really?
I'm really glad to hear that movie get some love, because it doesn't deserve half of the hate that it gets. Like it's not a particularly good movie in my opinion. Like I think it does struggle a lot in the writing department.
The structure's pretty wonky.
The structure's kind of wonky, but overall it's an enjoyable movie.
I've heard that it's one of those films where the director's cut is worth watching.
I would love to see that. If I could see a director's cut with like the goofy 3D shit taken out, that would be gold. Because like that was one of the things that I really disliked, was the use of 3D in the movie.
I don't think I saw the 3D version.
That's the thing. Neither did I. But there's still shit that like comes out.
Like,
there's shit that like comes out over the the widescreen bars and stuff. It's like, that's disorienting.
That is really weird.
Yeah.
I've been watching through Friday the 13th for this Halloween. I pick like a franchise every year.
Okay. Yeah.
And I finally got to the third one, which is where Jason puts on the mask for the first time. I was super excited. I hated it.
Really?
Specifically because it was made for 3D back in like 1983, 4, something like that.
Oh, that's wild.
And it's like the worst. It's the most egregious of those things where it's like, here's the thing coming right at the screen. And I'm like, I'm taken out of it. I guess that's the point. But like, I'm not wearing 3D glasses.
And to Aaron's point here, Critters, that's actually reminding me of another YouTube thing. There's a YouTube channel called Scaredy Cats, and they went through all of the Critters movies in sequence, and it's wild how that series falls apart.
Maybe that'll be next year. I'll do the Critters franchise. Day 4.
Day 4, yeah, right. We're doing a thing.
Yeah.
Favorite horror TV series.
There's another one where I struggled because I.
Oh, actually, real quick, my favorite with horror movie with no sequels is probably It Follows.
That's good. It's a good one. I need to rewatch that one.
It's so good. I haven't watched it in a few years, but it's so good.
I watched it on like a really tiny screen, so I'm like,
oh damn,
I think I like it.
Yeah, no, you want to watch it on a bigger screen. But yeah, go on. TV series, horror TV series.
So I don't know if this counts, but the original Twilight Zone, which ran from 1959 to
I think
1964.
that counts. I think
It gave me
between
nightmares as a kid, so I think it
yeah,
should count.
yeah. No, I think that's a solid baseline for like, does
Yeah,
this count as horror? Um,
there's
hmm.
there's a couple of episodes from that series that have influenced everything I've written. Um,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, there's one. It's like the Martians have landed on Maple Street. That's not the title. And it's something like that. Where it's this one street in like a suburb where like a kid goes missing, and like the electronics all go out, and people are like freaking out, and they start to like blame each other for like what's going on.
Okay,
Um,
interesting.
and like if you don't want to know the twist, because it's very good, it still holds up really well. Close your ear holes for the next like 10 seconds. But there's two aliens like on the mountain ridge that are just like turning the electricity on and off to see what like people do. And they're like,
Okay, yeah,
humans suck.
yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that was the twist of that
yeah, yeah.
one. Yeah, that fucking rules. I love it.
But that it played on like Cold War
Oh yeah,
hysteria.
yeah. Paranoia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, that's an American curse. It's not knife breaker.
it's oddly enough not a knife breaker.
No,
No, not yet.
I would love to do like a Cold War era.
Oh my god.
So good. And then like every short story I've written has that.
Is that an Outgo She? There's some of that in Outgo She.
Nah, that just deals with family sucking.
That's fair. Yeah. I can't think of a good TV series. Horror TV wasn't really my thing growing up. I was way too into cartoons
Mhm.
and it was random nonsense.
I negated Tales from the Crypt just because there's a question later
There
on
is a
about it.
specific question about it later. Um,
There's like American Horror Story, which I never got into.
yeah, I watched a little bit of that and just it didn't click with me.
I did watch. Was it The Haunting of Hill House? Is that it?
Yeah, and
The
then like this
with
and then the Bly Manor sequel. Is
Mike
that right?
Flanagan. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did like the first
I know
season, I guess.
tons of people that love those, but I still haven't
Mhm.
sat down and watched them. Maybe that's something I'll have to do if I have any
Yeah,
time off here.
it's very dry.
I have heard that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I tried to watch it twice. The first time I watched it, I was expecting like a horror movie.
Mhm.
I'm like, I am bored. But then the second time I watched it, and I watched it like to enjoy the whole story. It's very,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Does Invincible count? Does that count as horror? Just
From the 3 clips I've seen, yes.
okay.
I guess there's Walking Dead, but that kind of went off the rails.
Walking Dead, you know what? I might have to say Walking Dead actually, because like the only things I can think of as a kid are Tales from the Crypt, which
Mhm.
again I was not allowed to really watch, and Goosebumps, which
I wasn't allowed to watch Goosebumps.
see my mom let me watch Goosebumps.
Uh-huh.
I read voraciously. I read Goosebumps as a kid. Like I
My
remember
little sister watched it, but my, the youngest sister, the youngest sibling always gets like eased up a little bit.
yeah. I don't know. We didn't really have that issue
No?
in my house.
There's a big age gap.
That's
Yeah.
true. You have a bigger age gap with your sister.
Yeah, like Walking Dead's.
Yeah. Well, I think with Goosebumps, like I enjoyed them for what they
Mhm.
were, but even as a kid, I was like, these suck as adaptations of the books.
Somebody is asking.
Oh, are you afraid of the dark count? Of course, are you afraid of the
Yeah.
dark counts? Man,
I
yeah. Oh wow, you can actually just put those up on
yeah,
the.
that,
That
that's got to be
rules.
new, right?
That I don't know. That's really cool though. Hey, Aaron, you made the show. Like literally, you're on there.
I think so. Yeah, I've only watched a
Yeah.
handful of
How
episodes.
would I forget
but
that? I'm ashamed of myself. No, the obvious answer is
It was like
are you afraid of the dark?
Goosebumps for big kids.
Yeah, kinda. It was just scary stories with a friendship framing device.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
oh my god, that pinball episode.
I need, I should go back and watch those because I only watched like
Yeah.
3 or 4 because my mom was easily scared by scary things.
Mhm.
I just didn't watch that shit until I got to college, and
Yeah.
I was doing research for a film I was working on, and I was like, "There's an entire genre of awesome that I've been missing out on." Yeah. There's an anecdote that I'll share later about my mom and like specifically the movie that scared her as a child.
Nice.
Day 5.
Day 5. Favorite horror score.
Another one was hard. I was thinking about the first Suspiria, but they're scored by Goblin, which is really cool. But I ultimately went
Nilbog?
it scored by Nilbog. I went with Philip Glass's score for Dracula.
Does the question just stay up there?
Oh, you know what? I don't want it to.
Ah, there it goes. Okay.
But Philip Glass, and I think he has like a 4-string orchestra or something. I can't remember. He did a score for the 19. I don't know. It's the Bela Lugosi Dracula.
Oh, okay.
It's great. It's super cool.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have an answer for this. Just
yeah, there's like yeah, it was a little hard.
yeah, that's I feel like that's one where you have to like really intentionally sit down and
Yeah.
like go over some of the music yourself and like be actively like watching some of the films, like kind of gauge.
Well, you know what
like,
I would say if it counted, it doesn't, is the Castlevania score. Like any given
Oh
Castlevania game,
man.
it'd be like any of those.
No, I mean the music in those games
Yeah.
is absolutely fantastic. Oh god.
So day 6.
Here we go. Now this is a remake that is better than the original.
Yes.
This is a controversial one.
Yeah, I went with The Ring. 2002's The Ring.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that one scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I've never seen the original. The original, the Japanese original. When did that come out?
A couple of years before that.
So like 2000,
I think
2001?
either late 90s. I think late
Okay.
late 90s.
That feels like a more realistic turnaround for something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen the original, but God, did the
they are very similar. The biggest difference being that in the American version, and I think it's Naomi Watts is kind of the lead, right? Like she's trying to figure out the mystery before her son is ringed.
right.
In the Japanese version, it's the father who is trying to get unringed, but
okay,
it doesn't work as well because in the film, in the story, the mother and father are separated, right?
Yeah.
And the kid lives with the mother, so the father's kind of like he's there but not as big of a role in the child's life. So you're not as invested in him saving the kid, whereas like in the American version, the mother it's her child.
I guess that I don't know. I feel like there's a couple of different ways you can look at that, because on the one hand, it could be like you could read it as the dad's more distant from the kid's life, or you can read it as an amplification of the father's struggle to be more present in his
That would have been cool,
but that's not how. But that's not how it works. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
it's still worth watching.
Yeah.
It's
Again,
still
I have
good.
not seen that version, so I have no idea. But
and also, I think Hans Zimmer did the score for the American version, which
I mean, I genuinely can't remember, but God, is he good?
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear. I feel like I've said this in several episodes regarding several things, but I can't wait to hear what he does with Dune.
Oh yes, I haven't seen it. There's like 6 movies in theaters for once that I
know.
need to see. Woof. All right.
Day 7. Favorite horror comedy.
Ooh, this was so I used Cabin in the Woods earlier, so
right.
That I could,
so you can't use that again.
Yeah.
Which again, damn good choice.
Right. And this one is very much like comedy and horror, which is important to me.
Yes.
It's like Dale and Tucker versus.
Oh, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah, it's not what I picked.
Oh man, that's probably what I would pick.
It's more comedy than it is horror. I wanted like an even split. So I went with.
But Alan Tudyk, man.
Oh, Alan Tudyk's great. He should be in everything. We need to clone Alan Tudyk.
He went to Juilliard.
Return of the Living Dead. 1986.
Oh man.
Yeah. I love this movie so much.
I remember when we watched that, I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
My friend Matt, who's a huge horror fan, recommended it to me, and I'm like, how did I miss this?
It's wild. Just
would he be a mortician? I guess I don't know. He's the guy who does like the embalming.
Yeah, I would say it was like mortician's probably a fair or well.
I don't know if there's a separate name for maybe coroner.
Coroner. Yeah.
Mortician has more to do with like the
people. Actual, mortician's more active in like the actual like burial or
funerals.
Yeah.
Every single character in that movie, no matter how small, is their own kind of like what the fuck.
Yeah, no, the characters are absolutely fucking wild. That Scaredy Cats channel that I mentioned just did a video on Return of the Living Dead recently, and it's excellent. I would highly recommend checking that out. I mean, just watch that whole channel. It's very fun.
I watched Friday the 13th Part 5 last night for the first time, and the dude who's in Return of the Living Dead, he's like one of the punks.
Oh, okay.
He has like soul glow in his hair. Basically like left that set. This isn't true, but it looks like he like left that set, walked across the street to Friday the 13th Part 5,
So
and just recorded that, because like the same kind of get up, the same like look and feel, same acting.
that's outstanding. So he's been typecast, is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
yeah. I want to see if he's been in other horror stuff, because I know
That guy walked out of a touring van and just like from
Right,
some random
right.
punk band.
just started doing horror movies. All right, all right. It's my cat. It's my cat doing things.
Bushy. Hey.
Day 8.
Day 8. Favorite Stephen King book.
This was so hard.
I have yet to actually read any Stephen King books, which is a shame.
I've read
I know.
a shit ton.
Yeah, no, you're picking up my slack.
I didn't pick one. I picked 3. I picked
Okay.
3 because I picked one from each of his eras.
Okay.
So-
So let's define the eras. We've got
So there's drugs.
drugs, yes,
There's post-drugs.
post-drugs, and
Then there's car accident.
car. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back on drugs. Different drugs though. The painkillers. And then there's post painkillers. Because he got back. He got
Sure.
off drugs again.
Okay.
So there's 4 technically, but I skipped the car crash, narcotics, addiction.
Okay, so you're
period.
just doing drugs, post-drugs, and post-painkillers.
Yeah, because
okay,
that time period is
gotcha. Okay.
like the first book he did after his accident was Dreamcatcher.
I knew you were going to say that.
Which
yeah.
I hate.
I know
so much.
you've told me quite a few times about your
Yeah.
your distaste for Dreamcatcher.
And like, I'm nothing against him. Like he was in incredible pain. He didn't think he was ever gonna write again. Like I get it. So for early King, it.
Okay.
I love the kids and their friendship. It's like all the parts with them just like hanging out and being kids. Great. Oh yeah, there's also a clown. Then there's I lied. I think I took 2 from his final period.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah. Revival. Which
I'm not
is
familiar with Revival.
no, and they were gonna make. I think Mike Flanagan was gonna make a movie about it, and then it got shut down, or he moved on to a different project, which is a bummer because it's really cool. One of the like Stephen King endings that like legitimately freaked me out. But it's about like a revival church.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I mean, that's naturally where my brain went.
yeah, and it's about like this little kid who went to church, this one church, and like their relationship with the priest, and then something awful happens to the priest, and then he quits the religion, and then it kind of like it's about their interactions throughout their lives.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, that one I want to reread that one. And then his most recent book, actually, Billy Summer, is phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah, like a lot of his books in the last maybe like 10 years, I've been like, well, that was enjoyable. It wasn't earth shattering, but Billy Summers, like from start to finish, I was blown away.
You know, it's so wild just to think about how long he's been at it and how
Yeah.
prolific he is. It is absurd. Like I remember that Simpsons joke where where there's a publisher asking him about his next book, and he's just like looking around the room. He's like, "It's a lamp monster."
Yeah.
And the publisher's just like,
All right.
"When can I have it?" Just like to think that he almost stopped writing it, and
Twice, I
to
think, yeah.
see what his career is like,
Yeah.
it continues to be,
And he
is
has-
staggering.
He pretty much releases one novel every other year, and then in his off years, he releases a collection of short stories.
Can we get him to like kick George R.R. Martin like right in the ass?
There's not an interview. There's like they're both on stage for something, and George R.R. Martin's like, "How do you do it?" Like, it's fantastic. Like, please look it up on YouTube. Like George R.R. Martin, Stephen
I
King.
absolutely will do that
And
later.
those two of them
That's
talking. It's beautiful.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Like no, like and for the record, I love George R.R. Martin, but like
Has he written sci-fi? Because I don't really.
he
care.
has. Well,
Okay.
he's. I think he's mostly edited sci-fi. He has a
Oh, okay.
he has a series that he curates and edits called Wild Cards,
Okay.
I believe,
Okay.
where it's mostly other authors who write these sci-fi stories in this world he's put together or this universe he's putting together, but he's done some work in that universe as well, I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
And I think there's some TV adaptations of that. I'm not 100%.
Mm.
Or maybe that was something that was in the works that maybe didn't come to fruition just yet because I mean he's
I
so
think
busy with
I've heard of
HBO.
that. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Sword and Sorcery for the most part.
Yeah.
But I've heard nothing but good things about his writing, other than he takes forever to write.
Yeah.
Which
I mean there are some legitimate
I've got like
qualms to have
4
with it.
novels in the works,
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm no shade. Day 9.
day 9.
Mhm.
Day 9, we've got favorite Stephen King movie or miniseries.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because the reason I had to pick 3 movies was because I couldn't reuse this.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
The Stand.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
love that
I
adaptation.
still need to watch that.
I've
I'm so stupidly behind on my Stephen King.
I've read the book. I've read the comic book adaptation. I've watched the miniseries. I do need to see the newest one, but I've heard kind of mixed things about it.
Yeah, so have I.
But I love it. Gary Sinise, whatever.
Sinise, yeah.
Sinise. Molly Ringwald. It's all
Molly
great.
Ringwald, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Day 10.
Favorite psychological horror.
Okay. I picked 2 not because I couldn't decide, but because I wasn't sure if it was a horror movie.
Mhm.
I think it's personally like a psychological thriller.
Mhm.
But 7, some people consider 7 to be a horror film. I don't.
I would say thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think horror might be a little bit of a stretch for that one.
Yes. So I wrote that one down just because it's like why it's like top 5 for me. But I also wrote down Perfect Blue, which is an anime movie. I'm blanking on the guy's name, and I feel bad because he passed away not too long ago.
Oh, jeez.
But he's famous for like Paprika, Millennium Actress, the Perfect Blue. He did a shorter series called oh shit, I think Paranoia Agent. The movie Black Swan bought the rights to the director Darren Aronofsky bought the rights to Perfect Blue because there's so much overlap in plot. Perfect Blue is about an actress, or well, a pop star who becomes an actress, and like the weight of the
Are you saying the director of this?
yeah, it's like it's go ahead.
Toshiki Sato.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, yeah, he's great. All of his stuff is great, and it's beautiful. I think he's only done those 3 or 4 projects.
Yeah, Perfect Blue, Paprika, Barking Dogs Never Bite.
I've seen that one.
This other one, Lost Girls and Love Hotels.
Some of those he might have not written though. Might have been other people's projects.
Oh, so sorry. Some of this IMDb is showing me as you might also like these things. So yeah, scratch that.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I watched this and Eraserhead back to back, and I was like, I am deeply uncomfortable, but like utterly fascinated. They're both terrifying in their own way.
I've only seen Eraserhead once, and even then, I was like also like slow cooking a pot of pasta sauce at the time, so like I was running back and forth between the kitchen and the TV, so I missed a lot. I didn't retain it.
Yeah,
and it's another thing I need to go back and actually rewatch.
you should watch it in your apartment late at night when nobody else is home. You'll
Yeah,
send the cats out too.
It seems. Oh no. I mean, I don't know. They pissed in all their luggage. I don't know if I could steam clean that fat soon enough for the holiday season.
Yeah, keep that piss smell. That'll work for the film. Little smell-o-vision.
So much piss.
Day 11.
Day 11. Okay, let me navigate back here. There we go. Day 11. Movie that scared you as a kid.
I forgot. I wrote this like a week ago, so I don't remember most of my own answers. Fucking E.T. the extraterrestrial.
You were not the only person I know that that experienced this as a kid. Like I loved E.T. as a kid. Our friend Jamie also can't stand E.T. Like he had the same experience as a kid. I don't get it. I loved E.T. as a kid. I thought it was great.
I don't like the puppet design.
Fair.
I love the spaceship design. The spaceship design is
Spaceship
super
design is
cool.
sick. Yeah.
Um, spoilers for ET. Is that who's answering?
I'm assuming that's Aaron again. Sorry, you can see Get Out and Us.
I don't know what one you.
Oh, favorite psychological horror, possibly.
Yeah, they're both
Which, yeah, that's fair. I Jordan Peele is so fucking good.
I don't think either of them made that on my list because like I love Get Out. Us, I need to watch again.
I really enjoyed Us. I do think I liked Get Out more, but they're both brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of performances and in terms of just the writing and the directing style, absolutely amazing work.
I'm on like a screenplay writing group on Facebook.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "What's the best written horror film?" And I was like, "Ooh, I can answer this." But then somebody's like, "Get Out," and everybody else was like, "Yep." So like, spoilers for ET. ET fucking dies. He doesn't almost die. He doesn't die, but not really. He fucking dies.
Yeah, that's true. He does just flat out die at one point in that movie.
Yeah, and they sell it. It's not like dead for like a second, then they bring him back. He's like dead. Because I rewatched a couple of years ago when Stranger Things first came out, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch movies that like inspired this.
Sure, because that was a very clear influence of season 1 in particular.
And like, as an adult, I'm like, this is still very sad. So thank you, ET. It scared the shit out of me.
Man, I'm trying to think what scared me as a kid.
There's a Treehouse of Horror one that I'm going to talk about later that gave me nightmares. See, most of the things that scare me are like TV shows. I didn't watch so many movies.
Yeah. Shit. I don't know. I know we're not supposed to be reusing, but I think
Sure.
Freddy Krueger probably.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I think was probably like the one that really scared me the most as a kid.
I didn't see that until I was like sophomore in college. So I was like, this is fun. I'm enjoying this, but I'm not scared.
I think the thing that one of the things that freaked me out the most, and also it immediately sparked me, is like, that was so cool, was like Johnny Depp being sucked into the bed and then like blood volcanoed out onto the ceiling.
There's some really cool deaths in the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, and incredibly inventive and skilled effects departments on those films. Just mwah.
The one that got me was, I think it's the first movie where she's running upstairs, but her feet are sinking into the steps.
Oh man, that one's rough.
Don't listen, Mom. So there's one time I tried salvia. Same thing happened to me, but I was on a couch. I'm like, well, bye everybody.
Bye everybody. It's been fun.
Day 12.
Favorite body horror.
Oh, I'm just looking at the answer and I'm like, must be favorite Cronenberg.
I mean, that's a fair shorthand.
Yeah. So I went with 3 because there's like 3 specific.
Real quick, moments. Aaron brought up Pet Sematary, scared the hell out of him as a kid. That's fair.
I've heard a couple people say that, especially the ankle bit.
I didn't see it until I was like in my late teens, I think. So it didn't hit me quite as hard. But yeah, if I saw that as a kid, it would have fucked me up.
I watched like 3 years ago, so I was like, that was uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable.
I'm scared.
But yeah, so what are you Cronenberging?
So I picked 3 because there's 3 separate scenes. I'm like, this is fucking cool. The first one is Existence.
I still haven't seen that.
Not a whole lot of people have seen it. It's my first Cronenberg, so it'll always hold a weird place in my heart.
Okay.
Weird tumorous place. There's a scene where Jude Law is, I'm not gonna explain the whole film because like,
fair,
but it makes sense in the film. He's eating this like lizard, and he feels compelled to start putting the lizard bones, like connect them, and he creates a gun out of the bones, and he like takes like a bridge, like a teeth bridge out of his mouth, and like uses it as ammunition.
Sure.
Wow. Yeah. Out of context, that's real weird. It's super gross.
In context, that's real weird. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, I love that movie. There's also Naked Lunch, which
I also still never seen.
There's some weird stuff with his typewriter that he does.
Okay.
It's like half bug, half lady bit, half typewriter, as one does. And then the last one's Videodrome. Just because of all the shit with the TVs, super cool.
Yeah, no, I've not seen that whole movie, but I've seen that scene. Yeah, and that is wild.
And I think there's a moment it's been a while since I've seen it, but I think there's a moment where I think James Woods is the lead, reaches into his chest and like pulls out a gun. Because
No, that's just what James Woods does.
That's just
yeah,
that's
no,
where he keeps his gun.
He keeps James Woods, much like the stormtrooper analogs in the podcast Mission to Zix, just is biologically engineered to hide guns within him. Except he doesn't have a butt gun; it's a chest gun because he's already got a stick up his ass. So
there's no more room.
Real quick, in terms of body horror, I don't know that I have a film that is my favorite for body horror specifically, but the first thing that jumps to my mind when I think of body horror is the music video for the song Matter Red by Yesayer. It's a video. First off, it's a music video starring Kristen Bell.
Okay.
And second off, she is like caring for this strange like skin cube of a monster thing that is like her, I don't know, her romantic partner of some sort, and is clearly dying throughout the entire video. It's disturbing. That is if I'm not mistaken, taken from their second album, where they basically just went to New Zealand and like took a bunch of acid as they were recording.
As you do in New Zealand. This is also one I don't consider to be a horror film, but like Akira's body horror is...
Oh, sure.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a lot.
Amazing film. Day 13.
Day 13. 13, most unique movie kill.
Really? What did I put that? Oh, yep. No, that makes sense. I was like, Hereditary. Why? Oh,
Oh,
right.
Jesus Christ, Jack.
Oh my God, I saw that.
Now, is this Toni Collette sawing off her own head? Is this?
No, it's early in the film.
I was hoping it wasn't. God.
Earmuffs. If you haven't seen it, it's very good. You should watch it.
It's a great movie. And God damn, is it harrowing.
The little sister is having an allergic reaction to, I think, like peanuts or something, and is sticking her head outside of the van because she can't breathe. And her brother, who's like really, I think he's high or dry.
I forget the circumstances that he's
but
under.
But Mr. Dave Patterson.
It's not Dave Patel.
It's not?
No,
we've had this conversation.
It's not Dev Patel.
But I want it to be. Not Dev Patel is driving a little too close to the edge of the road, and his sister's head gets knocked off by the telephone pole, and it's the way it's shot is the worst.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's
like
Alex Wolff. His name is Alex Wolff.
Sorry, Alex Wolff. I'm sorry. You did great in that film, by the way. I saw that movie in theaters.
I cannot imagine seeing that happen on the big screen. I watched it way after its actual release, and like seeing that on a television was hard enough. Like
I saw it with my friend Rob, and like it's maybe the first like 20-25 minutes in. It's not super far into the film.
It was with Rob Hockenberry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God.
And like we're both watching it, and like the movie's okay up to that point. Like it's a little slow. You don't know what's going on. I mean, you don't know what's going on until the end of the film. Even then, not so much. And you could feel half the audience was like, "I'm checked out."
Yeah, it's like that. Check, please. I'm done.
And then the other half of the audience like leaned in, like, "I'm in.
Tell me more."
I'm like, that is not something I've seen before. There's also really quick. There's a kill. I think it's in City of the Living Dead. It's an Italian film.
I'm not familiar with this.
Full G. There's like an evil priest, and he makes this like this couple's like making out. These like teens are making out in their car, and he's like, "I'm eviling you," and she starts to throw up her own intestines and stomach.
Oh no!
It's I think I was like eating at the time. I was like, "Well, I'm done."
Yeah, no, you put away your lo mein.
Yeah,
just that is.
And you can tell that like the actress had to put like just probably like pig intestine in her mouth and just go.
Oh God!
And it was effective. Day 14.
Day 14. Favorite Halloween television special. Do we have an Instagram comment?
We do. I believe. I'm gonna try to say it. Mary B. Matak. They said great moment of shock on screen. I'm assuming they're talking about Hereditary.
I would assume, yeah. It is noteworthy.
My favorite thing is like
unforgettable and scarring.
It happens, and they're like, they don't show the head, right?
Right.
And I'm like, wow, that was very classy.
Later.
Like I'm like, that was very classy of them. Then you see like the reaction, and then they're like, "JK, here's the head." I'm like,
Yeah, no, we're gonna wait for this to
yeah,
get fucking worse.
yeah,
Just
very effective.
okay. So
I'm so
favorite Halloween television special.
oh yeah, there was this one that I used to watch as a kid called the Halloween Tree, which is a Ray Bradbury story.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with this.
it's you can't find it anywhere.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've recently watched on YouTube with like the lowest quality. But it's these like four kids are going out trick or treating, and they go to meet their one friend, and they see like an ambulance drive away, and they find out that his like appendix burst.
Huh.
But they're like, wait a minute, there he is over there, and it's his ghost, and they're trying to catch him. And it's a little like edutainment because they chase him around the world. They get Leonard Nimoy as the Crypt Keeper. That's not even a joke. I mean, he's not the Crypt Keeper, but he might as well be.
He's like that narrator kind of
Yeah.
device. Yeah.
Well, he like gives them the ability to chase after their friend, and they get taken around the world to experience different Halloween traditions.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's kind of wild.
And spoilers for this, it ends with them at Deus de Mortes. I'm saying that right, but they each make a deal to save their friend's life by giving a portion of their own. They take like a bite of like a sugar skull.
Oh, sure.
It's super cool.
I'm gonna go with Aaron. My favorite is probably also the Charlie Brown Halloween, the Great Pumpkin. Yeah, I always love it. Yeah.
The story's cool. I love the animation for that episode.
Yeah.
I mean, the animation of that era in general for the Peanuts was great.
It's just it's an iconic look. Like you will never ever mistake the Peanuts animation for anything else. Like it stands on its own in such a great way.
I think there's like one ghost that has like little eye holes all over the fucking.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
What artist was sitting like?
I'm gonna make this look as tattered as possible.
Yeah.
Oops, all eyes.
Every damn time. Number 15.
Favorite song about murder.
Oh God. Have you ever heard the Jarvis Cocker song "I Will Kill Again"?
Maybe. I think you've made me listen to this once or twice in the past. Like, I don't know if we so when we're like in pre-production for Ramming Speed, we will have production meetings, and we always start off by listening to a song, and I'm not sure if that was one of them.
That seems like something I would do.
It seems like something you would do. Like it definitely wasn't a time that Scott picked the song.
No. No, I'm pretty sure I have that.
I'm like 90% sure that this happened.
Like Jarvis Cocker starts singing. It's just like very. If you're not listening to the lyrics, you're like, this is nice. This is like a nice, calm song. But what he's singing about is like, I'm gonna go do my groceries and take care of my family, and then after that, I'm gonna murder some people
again.
Yeah, it's great.
Coming to take me away. That's a good one, That's not about murder, which is a good song. I don't know why that one jumped into my head suddenly, but so mine, I would say I don't know that I necessarily have a favorite song about murder specifically, but there was a band called Ice Nine Kills that I've gotten into in the past couple of years. You probably wouldn't enjoy them. They're very much like mid 2000s like emo screamo metal kind of shit.
Definitely not like them.
No, but they have an entire album called The Silver Scream, where each song is inspired by a horror movie. And the very last track is called "It Is the End." Okay. And sure enough, it's all about it. It's
the clown, or
it's like
Pennywise,
Okay. Yeah. It's the lyrics are all just like reference. It's kind of cheesy as hell. Like the way they adapt the ideas into the song, but like it's really fast and really hard, and they brought in the brass section from Less Than Jake to like participate in this. So there's these blaring horns throughout parts of it.
I'm gonna hate this, but I want to listen.
Yeah, no, I'll play it for you after we're done here. But yeah, it's fun.
We got
oh hell yeah, Warren Zevon.
Excitable Boy.
Okay,
that's Matt's suggestion. Matt, the horror fan. The one who
very,
informed me about Return of the Living Dead.
very nice.
I don't, maybe I know that one to hear it. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll listen to that as like a cleanser to whatever that is that you just recommended.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think
Yeah,
Warren
no,
Zevon's a little bit more.
more your speed,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, no, and I love me some Warren Zevon. Don't get me wrong. Just I also have horrible taste in general. So
We'll have to do like an all music episode where I just sit back and like just talking because I don't know shit. You want to talk about some Zeppelin?
I mean, I like some Zeppelin.
do like
Talk about some Zeppelin. Getting some.
I'll talk for that like 5 minutes and then. Oh my god! I just
about love and longing and hobbits
and Hobbits. I just finished Elvira's. I swear this relates. I just
I'm
finished
sure it does.
Elvira's autobiography.
Nice.
Or Cassandra Peterson's autobiography called and in it she talks about she was a groupie.
Right. I know that is part of her backstory there.
And like the first penis that she encounters is Jimmy Page's.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I forget what band he was a part of before Zeppelin.
Oh, this is pre-Zeppelin.
This is pre-Zeppelin.
How old was she at this point?
Not old enough to see a penis.
I mean, sure. That's. I mean that.
It's vague, but it's somewhere between like 14 and 17.
A lot of them were.
Yeah.
Everyone we love from that era sucks.
As a classic rock fan, it's like really hard to talk about them during that period because it's like, that was all very illegal.
Yeah.
But she was a virgin, and after she saw Jimmy Page's rocket, was like, I'm a virgin, and like ran out of the room.
Good for you, Cassandra.
Yeah.
That's a good response.
Oh my god. It's a very good book. It's sad, but it's very good. The Yardbirds. Yeah, that's what I thought. The band Jimmy Page was in before.
Okay. Yeah, I would not have known that. Thank you. I learned something today.
I was familiar with the Yardbirds. I didn't know that he was in it at any given point. Anyway, Jesus Christ. Here we go. All right, next question. 16.
Favorite Halloween costume you have worn?
This may be not my favorite, but it's the one that has a story behind it. I made my own Halloween costume my senior year of high school.
Nice.
That I named the Creeper. And I made it out of wire coat hangers, and black electrical tape. And then there's probably a name for the metal drain in your tub that has like the holes, the perforated holes.
A drain.
Sure.
Yeah.
I made that for like the mouth. With like a leather coat, like trench coat, and I think I took like part of a windshield wiper for like a hook arm. I made my own character.
Yeah, sure.
And then I probably look like a mixture of like Dark Man and like a World War I German soldier.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that's how I met my girlfriend's parents. And wouldn't you know, that one didn't work out.
Huh.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah. Very like not far right, but like conservative.
I mean,
lovely couple.
This Altoona. So
this is Patton, so it's even more right.
Okay, yeah.
Moving on.
I think my favorite costume. I think I always look back fondly on the homemade Power Rangers that my best friend at the time and I went as. Like his mom made these great costumes for us that had the right size like diamond things on the chest and everything, and were like full body like one piece suits that we wore. But she didn't make masks, so I made us masks out of construction paper, and I was really proud of them. And then it rained.
I was just like, well, that was probably good right up until
no, they did not last. So people were like, "Were you walking around in your pajamas?" I'm like, no, give me candy. I'm a Power Ranger.
What Ranger were you?
I was the Green Ranger.
Yeah. He was cool. And I watched maybe like 4 episodes.
I was super into the first season, and then like after the White Ranger arc, I fell off or aged out, I guess. I don't know. And then I remember hearing they did dinosaurs and shit down the road and ninjas, and it's like this got kind of wild.
Yes, I had friends that would watch it, and I'm like, "You're doing like geometric shapes now? Running a little low on ideas there." I'm sure it's great. I've just never seen it.
Power Rangers meets Flatland.
Yeah. Oh my god. How many of our listeners do you think understood that reference?
Oh, I barely got it myself.
I took math for stoners.
And
That's
they
exactly
talk
what
about Flatland and
they
math
talk
for
about Flatland.
stoners.
Yeah, because I couldn't pass math in undergrad, so they're like, take this one, this summer class. I'm like, okay.
This has a very like Patton Oswalt physics for poets kind of vibe. It's just
And like, either everyone was either drunk or high, including the friends that I went to class with, except for me, because I'm like, I suck at math. I need to be completely stone sober.
Yep.
And he talked about, I think it was Donald Duck and Mathland, which is fantastic, and Flatland, which I've then went and read.
That's a
very strange.
fun short book.
It's,
Like
yeah,
it's like what's like 80 pages or
very
something.
short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a good read. It is, not literary genius by any stretch of the
No.
imagination, but it's enjoyable.
It's moving on.
Moving on. Favorite John Carpenter.
This was beyond easy.
Yeah,
it's not even.
It's a slam dunk choice, right? Like
what?
The Thing.
The Thing, yeah. Some people would be like, "Well, Halloween, right?" I'm like, "No, The Thing."
I mean, Halloween rules, but The Thing.
The Thing isn't even
The Thing.
my favorite John Carpenter movie. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
it's top 5.
No, it's a fucking masterpiece. Like,
I just got my Kurt Russell action figure like 4 days ago.
Yeah, that's why I didn't bring this up in terms of the body horror, because I knew this was going to come up now.
Like, for sure. I have no. The only thing that made me upset about that movie was when it ended. I'm like, I want more.
Yeah, no, I want more.
One more.
Bring it back.
John Carpenter has a lot of other enjoyable films.
I mean, he's
like
an
that
amazing.
one is.
He's an amazing filmmaker. It's.
I really want to be a smart ass and be like, The Invisible Man with Chevy Chase.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
But I've never seen it, so I don't even want to.
I don't think I want to.
It's considered pretty bad.
I'm just. We spent so much time railing against Chevy Chase in the Nothing But Trouble for episode. It's just like I'm Chevy Chased out right now. I can't do it.
Maybe next Halloween we can watch.
We'll relitigate some more Chevy Chase every Halloween.
All right.
Horror movie released the year you were born.
It was a good year for movies. The year I was born. I got
87, right?
Yeah. I got Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which is I think the Dream Warriors.
I think. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
I think 4 is Dream Master. But anyway, it's the one that has Freddy with like the syringe fingers. It's
okay.
And Hellraiser also came out that year.
Oh, Hellraiser?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Also, Batman Year One.
Really?
It's not a horror film. I just like to say that.
I say the comic came out that year. Yeah. Damn. I don't know what horror movies came out in 86. Hold on.
I'm trying to think of what else happened in the third Nightmare on Elm Street was actually the first one that I saw.
Troll came out in 1986.
Troll the Singular?
Yeah.
Nice.
The Fly came out in 96.
Okay.
Critters
Great.
coming back around again. Friday the 13th Part 6,
which I'll be watching tonight.
Poltergeist 2.
I've never seen that one.
There's some interesting ones here.
I mean, 80s were a good era for horror. It's really like them 90s babies that had to suffer through some shit.
Yeah. Oh man, Chopping Mall.
I haven't seen Chopping Mall yet. I want to. It looks.
Came out in 86.
My cat is under my chair. And I didn't know. Hi, Bushy.
Also, I don't think I'd actually call this horror, but Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
We are on day 18. Nope, 19.
Hold on one second.
How's everybody in Insta Twitch land enjoying our rant? I think this one's running along. Might have to actually be like an actual, maybe not second unit, but like a bonus episode. But I'm having fun, so we're just
it's a good time. Okay. Next day 19. Favorite Tales from the Crypt episode.
Yes, it's one of the first ones I ever watched, and it's my favorite. Season 5, episode 1, Death of Some Salesman, which is it's a great title. Um, it's this salesman. He's like conning people out of like their savings by selling them like a plot of land in like a funeral or in a cemetery that like they'll never get. And then he goes to this house where Mama, Papa, and little daughter, not little, but whatever, are all played by Tim Curry. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I
it's
am familiar with
they
this.
play like a white trashy farm redneck family.
Yeah.
Um, and Tim Curry's just like the Tim Curryest for all three parts because he plays like the daughter as well.
Sure, sure.
It's fantastic. I haven't seen all of the episodes yet, but I've watched a good amount of Tales from the Crypt. Oh, that's all I got for 19.
Uh, See, I'm not too familiar with the actual canon of the show,
Mhm.
but the first thing that jumps to my mind is like the most memorable thing that I've seen is Bordello of Blood, just the
I haven't seen
film.
that one yet.
Yeah, I watched it with a bunch of friends, like a couple like pre-pandemic,
Yeah,
and it's immensely enjoyable. Um,
there's a lot of good episodes. There's a lot of like okay episodes too.
yeah. What do we have here? A favorite Halloween song?
Yes. So I tried to find. I think it's called like the Hearse song. Thank you, thank you. I think Matt's referring to us rambling for an hour about horror stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you. I'm
hey,
glad you're enjoying it.
yeah, me too.
Um, there's
Excellent.
like the bones go or the worms go in, the worms go out, the worm blah 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 blah.
Okay,
Um,
I know the one you're talking about.
I think it was the what's the thing before first grade, kindergarten,
Kindergarten.
preschool?
Yeah, kindergarten, preschool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They I was doomed from a young age. Like the last day with our music teacher, like it was a different person came in for that.
Sure, sure.
She's like, I'll play any of the songs that we've played over the last year that you want to listen to. And I was like, that one, the Halloween one with worms that digest dead people. And then she's like, okay.
I said
um,
any.
uh,
I opened the door to
yeah.
this.
God, I need to find, and I try to find like the original one, but I can't. Anyway, there's also Every Day's Halloween by Ministry, which is
Okay.
very good. And then this is so cheesy, but I love it. 999 Happy Haunts by the Happy Haunts. It's the Disney haunted mansion
Yeah,
song from, I'm gonna guess like early 60s would be my guess.
probably. Yeah.
Uh, and every year, like Belinda and I will start putting up our Halloween Village with like a mixture of Halloween songs will come on,
Mhm.
and that one will come on, and she'll get maybe like 3 minutes into it, and she's like, "Is this ever gonna end? Because it's just like the same thing for like 10 minutes." And I'm like, "No, you can change
Oh,
it." It's very long.
I don't think I have an answer for this one.
Those aren't my so much my favorite as the two I remember. I mean, they're both I
Fair.
like them a lot, but
Favorite cameo in a horror movie?
this one was hard too. Not because I know the answer, but this one could have been the answer for like 6 different categories. Um, Scream.
Oh, sure.
There's there's a scene where um I think it's the Fonz is their principal.
Henry Winkler.
Henry
Yeah.
Winkler. And he's like, which of these people is the killer? Blah 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 blah. And he like looks into the hallway of the school and there's a janitor mopping,
Uh-huh.
but it's Wes Craven dressed as Freddy Krueger with like this long hair and like weird mustache. You know, I love it so much.
That's pretty good.
But like Scream is one of the movies I watch like every Halloween. It
It's a
holds up. I
solid.
love
It's a
it.
solid movie.
And the sequels aren't bad, especially for like horror movie sequels. Like,
I
they're pretty
don't
good.
remember the sequels very
I
well.
mean, they're Scream movies.
Scream movies. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Favorite horror anthology movie. Oh wait, first.
Oh, we got a couple.
A lot of people associate Thriller with Halloween. That's true. Yeah, I think the whole zombie video kind of helps lend itself to that. I mean, it's the whole general vibe of the song. It's got, it's got that spooky. It's the Vincent Price bit too. I
Yeah.
think that that kind of locks it in.
Um, in Elvira's book, which just finished, I want to say so. Michael Jackson was thinking about asking her to do the Vincent Price part intro. Yeah.
Really?
And
Hmm.
someone in like the chain of command absolutely was like, absolutely not Elvira. It's weird. There's like two people in the book that just hate her for no apparent reason.
That's
And one
wild.
of them, who's the guy in charge of Saturday Night Live?
Lorne
Yeah.
Michaels. Lorne Michaels has it out
Yeah.
for real?
Yeah.
Really?
He didn't want her on the show to guest. And this was when she was like at the top of her.
At the top of her game, yeah.
And his boss made him. And he just slowly whittled away her part in the episode
Uh-huh.
and was just like a complete douche to her.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
ugh.
We got a couple suggestions on favorite Halloween song. Aaron mentioned the Monster Mash, classic, always good. Then we have Matt, King Diamond by Halloween, or is it Halloween by King Diamond? I don't know. And Halloween.
Oh,
Halloween.
fucking Halloween.
Is Halloween the name of the song or the band?
Halloween's the name of a band, if I'm
Okay,
not
okay.
mistaken. Yeah, I remember seeing some of their stuff pop up for sale and whenever I worked at Hot Topic back in the day.
And then Aaron said, Bill Murray's
Oh, Bill
cameo
Murray's cameo in
is
Zombieland.
fantastic. And here's why I didn't go with it, because I thought about that one. One, I love that cameo with Wes Craven. It is absolutely my actual favorite.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a cameo, whereas Bill Murray's scene in Zombieland
It's more of a
lasts too long to be a cameo.
Yeah, it's more. I mean, they actually like wrote that in as like a significant part in that moment, in those moments. Though they weren't sure if he was actually going to show up
Really?
until like the day of, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
feel like that's probably how it is with Bill Murray on any movie at this
Yeah.
point. Day 22.
22. Yeah, favorite horror anthology movie.
Yes. I love both creep shows.
I thought you were gonna say Creep Show, but there's a but. Okay.
I like specific segments
Okay.
of the creep show. Like the first one, the Stephen King one, it's like 8 minutes long and I love it. And I just watch it over and over again.
No, it's fantastic.
And then there's the last one where the germaphobe.
Oh yeah,
is in the first one. That is really gross, but also really good. And then in the second one, it's called The Raft. I think Stephen King wrote that segment.
I think he did. Yeah, I think you're right about that.
It's a bunch of kids like playing on some kind of like wooden raft thing, and there's like a goop. And like the effects are really good. But I went with 2007's Trick or Treat.
Oh, okay.
Which is
did we watch that?
I'm not sure. I watched it pretty regularly. I know I watched it with Scott while we were camping because I'm like, this just is scary enough that it won't freak anybody out. But it's centers around Sam the trick or treater.
Yeah, no, we definitely did watch this.
Oh, did we?
Yeah,
I love that movie. But like all of the segments interconnect with each other.
Yeah,
and
there's some cause and effect going on throughout all of them.
Yes. Like you see the one person's like burying somebody in their backyard,
yep.
And then you see the other side of the fence, and it's like Brian Cox is like, "Keep your dog out of my yard."
Yep.
That's when I'm like, I wish they would make a sequel.
Yeah, Matt just said the same thing. Trick or Treat.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. That's solid.
Yeah, the
framing narrative. Yeah,
so good. Not framing device, but like the framing narrative.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need more Brian Cox in my life. I think he was the original Hannibal Lecter as well.
Really?
I think he was Hannibal Lecter in the first Manhunter.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I was completely unaware of that.
I mean, you have Anthony Hopkins coming in after that. Like,
sure.
And they also like beefed up his part too, which was nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Favorite horror movie based on true events.
This might not be my favorite, but it's one I have to bring up anytime I can. 1986's Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Oh yeah, this is Michael Rooker, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
The movie is hard to watch, and then you learn if you didn't already know, you learn it's based on a true story about Henry Lee Lucas. It's very loosely based.
Sure.
On Henry Lee Lucas and Otis O'Toole, something like that. It's like one of the very few like serial killer partners. Normally they're pretty solo, but Henry Lee Lucas is like one I like when I'm reading about it, I feel dirty, like icky, like I just want to shower afterwards. Like it is
Yeah.
disgusting. And then the movie is also has like a very raw feel to it.
The Girl
Oh, The Girl
Next
Next Door.
Door. Ooh.
I have not
I can't remember if I've seen that or
seen the
not.
movie. I've read the book, and the
Okay.
book is very hard. It's very good. It's one of the best books I've ever read,
Mhm.
but it is incredibly hard to get through. And it's one I like. I had heard the true story part of it like years ago,
Yeah.
and then like as I'm reading the book, I'm like, this sounds familiar, and like awful things happening to this girl,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh no, this is true. Yeah, and it's what actually
But
happens might be even worse than what's in the book. The
The
Exorcist.
Exorcist.
That's true. I always forget that that's based on the.
Yeah, I tend to forget about that as well. It's just such a sensational like effects achievement that I
Yeah,
tend to forget that like, oh yeah, they're like
it's
that's
like an iconic film that you. I'm sure there's off of because I think the original incident surrounded a boy, not a girl, if I recall.
yeah, I could see that being a change that they would make for the film.
And if anybody suggests The Conjuring, I'm punching you in the throat. uh, the Warrens were awful humans.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes, please.
Oh yeah, here we go. Favorite Treehouse of Horror
Yeah.
segment. Yeah. No, this is right up our fucking
Oh my
alley.
god. This is hard because there's so
There's
many good
so
ones.
many good ones.
I made like a small. No, that's not even true. I was gonna say like I didn't go with any that are spoof, but like that's not even true. This is not my favorite, but it is the one that scared the bejesus out of me as a kid.
Okay.
It's the very first Simpson anything that I've ever seen.
Mhm.
I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up, and then like the one time my dad's like, I don't watch it. It happens to be this episode with this segment, and it scared the fuck out of me. And it's Treehouse of Horror 4,
Uh-huh.
Terror at 5.5 feet, which is the
Terror at 5.5
episode where
feet.
there's a gremlin on the side of the school bus.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because it's a play on the Twilight Zone
yeah,
episode.
yeah, which is also is a great episode. That's why
Yeah.
the I didn't like the TV was turned on. It was in the middle of the episode. I didn't have any like this is a special horror thing. I just see this gremlin on the side of the bus, and no one's listening. Like no one believes Bart,
Mhm.
and then the gremlin like holds up Flanders' head.
Yeah.
I was scared that I could not go to sleep until like my mom got home. I was like, it's okay, go okay, ma.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There are so many good
Mhm.
ones though. Like it was just like jumping to my mind. Like you see, like, you mentioned Flanders, and I
Yeah.
immediately go to the like the where Flanders takes over the world, and and the
Yes.
Simpsons had
Yeah.
to be sent to the Re-education Center.
There's also the one where he does. It's like the spoof of like I know what you did last summer.
Uh-huh.
Where he's actually also a werewolf. There's the spoof of the shinning.
The shitting
Is great.
Are you trying to get sued?
Speaking of Willie, there's the Nightmare on Elm Street one where
Oh
he's like
man,
a lawnmower or something.
yeah, he possesses a
Oh my
lawnmower in
God.
one of the dreams. But you know, I just love the scene where he walks into the PTA meeting on
Yes.
fire, and they're like, "Hold on, Willie," and
He just, like, sits on the floor.
sits down on a chair next to the door, just burning alive.
Oh man, they haven't done a good one in a while, but I always watch it.
I mean, you know, there are a lot of people who argue The Simpsons should have been canceled a long time ago.
Have I seen the Omega
The Omega Man.
I'm familiar with the reference. I don't know if I've seen.
Is that the 3D one? Is that the one where he goes
No,
through
I
the
don't
portal
think
and becomes
so.
3D? I can't remember. The titles are like what don't stick in my head for whatever
Right,
reason.
like it's a play on the Omega Man, which
Well, yeah.
is
Clown Without Pity.
that's also a really good one. That's the one he gets from like he gets the Krusty doll.
Oh
From
yeah!
the
Oh, someone
antique
switched
shop.
this to evil.
Yeah. I see what you got here. He's like, you also get the free yogurt, whatever, Frogurt, but it's evil. I'm not good with my Simpsons,
but it's cursed.
But it's cursed. That's bad.
Yeah, that's bad. Oh, it's post-apocalypse. Okay, I do remember that one.
Maybe I missed that one.
I think it was a little later, but
I haven't watched all the later ones.
I mean, not like super later. It's not like season 30 later.
Oh, okay.
I think I remember enjoying that one. I have to watch more of these.
We'll watch that after we play that song by the Screamo emo band, and then Warren Zevon. We have a hell of an evening ahead of us. We're almost there. Day 25.
Day 25. Favorite Wes Craven.
this was the one that fucked me because it's Scream, but I
But
already
you've
used
already
Scream.
used Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went with Nightmare on Elm Street. Because
You have not used that yet.
I've not used that yet. And like I haven't watched all of Wes Craven's films, but I watch a good number.
Yeah, I've definitely not seen all of them. I haven't even seen all the Freddy's. It's just
that was my franchise pick a year or two ago, so I went through and watched all of them.
Even the Jackie Earl Haley one.
I'd watched that years ago, so I didn't have to rewatch it.
Okay.
Thankfully, I didn't. Yeah, I've got nothing else to say to that. I do still need to watch The Last House on the Left, but knowing what it's about, I don't imagine I'm gonna enjoy it more than Nightmare on Elm Street.
Favorite Halloween candy. Taking a pivot here.
Yes. I tried to find the name of this. Cannot find the name of it, but it's those little chocolate coins that are like they have like the rice crunchies in them, kind of like Crunch, but they're just like little foil covered,
like Gelt.
I don't know. I think a couple of companies make them, but it's just like a chocolate coin with like a Halloween character on the foil, and they're crunchy, and I love them.
Yeah,
it's definitely like nostalgia.
Sure,
I'm enjoying this taste.
Yeah, there is something about those that is just.
Yeah, The People Under Stairs is also another really good Wes Craven.
I've never seen that.
So you've seen Twin Peaks, right?
Oh yeah.
God, what the fuck what are the names? I think Earl. There's like the Earl and Nadine.
Oh yeah.
I think that's their names. They are also a couple in The People Under the Stairs.
No fucking shit.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And I don't think it's spoiling anything, but the dude whose name I can't remember, at one point he's running around. The premise is that like they own an enormous mansion with like a bunch of like hidey hole places, and they keep children in the basement. And like one of them like runs throughout the house. Anyway, he's running around, and I don't even know if there is a reason for it, but it's like a full gimp suit with a shotgun.
Oh no, I do know this movie. Okay, I've not actually seen it. Again, that fucking channel Scaredy Cats I mentioned did a whole video about this, and like, no, this movie is bonkers.
It's pretty bonkers.
Yeah, no, it looks fun as hell.
Yeah.
I absolutely need to watch that. No, as soon as you mentioned the kid getting loose in the house, like, wait, something about this sounds familiar. And then you said gimp suit, and I was like, that's it.
It doesn't feel like a Wes Craven film to me, but it's still
I
like
had no fucking idea it was Wes Craven. Yeah. Oh my god.
Halloween candy I fucking hate. Whoppers. Sixlets.
Palmer's chocolate coins is what Matt says.
Okay. I think you're right. Because I remember the P being
the stylized P. Yeah. No, I think you're right. Yeah, that. Yeah. Oh man, I haven't thought about those in so long.
And now I'm gonna order so
many Palmer's chocolate coins. Sorry, Bushy was trying to get my attention here a second.
Yeah,
she's just like
she's a little early for her salmon.
She's always early for her salmon. Bunny mascot?
Yes.
The Palmer's bunny mascot. Yeah, because they do a lot of Easter candy too. I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, I'm really torn on what my favorite Halloween candy would be, because I'm a sucker for a Reese's cup, and that's like that's the most basic answer you can give. Like, of course you.
I was trying to think of something
if you're not allergic.
I only really eat it around Halloween, or
I'm gonna make a controversial statement here. Is candy corn. I actually like candy corn.
Every year I try.
When I was a kid, I saw that Lewis Black bit where he talks about how all the candy corn in the world was made in 1903, and I was just like, shut up, I like candy corn.
And I always try like one of the candy corns, and then one of the candy corn pumpkins. I'm like, maybe this will taste a lot better. And
I mean, the pumpkins are pretty good, but I mean, the actual corn though,
that's all you, man.
But
I do like fruitcake, so I'll take the Christmas hit.
I don't think I've ever actually had a fruitcake.
It's really bad for you.
That's one of the. From what I've seen of them, they look terrible for you. Yeah, like they look like a heart attack waiting to happen. But I don't know. Like, my family never. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Whew. But yeah, my family never made those.
That's fair,
they were never present at any of my family gatherings on either side.
They're not cheap either.
That's what I've heard. Like they're expensive as fuck. It's like, why are these so bad
I think
and so ubiquitous?
You ever watch this? This relates, I swear. You ever watch like Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares or what the fuck it is?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Where he goes into a restaurant and he's like, "All right, we're gonna jack up the prices of everything so that people think that it's fancy."
Oh,
I think the fruit cake company
started that
is trying to like, well, if we make it like $10 for a fruit cake, then people will think it's fancy food. Didn't work, guys. Just me having to pay more. Aaron's saying that he doesn't associate any candy with Halloween besides candy corn. That's true.
I will point out, I did mention earlier, I have terrible taste. So, like,
I can't think of any other candy that I'm like, you only really see that. I mean, there's like the monster cereal that you only see around Halloween. That's not like candy.
It's candy. It's breakfast candy.
You're absolutely right. It is.
Remember, we just had two. I just had two bowls of it while we watched Troll 2 the other day, and
Chocula, right?
Yeah, and
yeah, it's very sweet.
I felt so sick afterward because I had had so much breakfast cereal that day. Considering that one of the bowls I had at home was Reese's Puffs, and I had two bowls of the goddamn Count Chocula.
This next one I'm ashamed of.
This next one? Yeah. Okay, next day. Favorite foreign horror?
I don't have one. I've watched a lot of foreign horror, but like
I haven't.
I've watched a lot of Italian and Japanese, and there are parts of them that I like a lot. There are scenes. I just watched Pulse last night, which is a Japanese horror film.
I'm not familiar.
And I really enjoyed it, but I'm like, meh. So I definitely cheated. I cheated hard because I picked 2 Canadian films.
That's foreign. It counts.
Yeah. So I went with, and they're both ones I just watched this year. Black Christmas, which is 1974.
Okay.
It's Margaret Kidder, I think.
I've heard very good things about that movie.
Very much enjoyed it. Yeah. And then My Bloody Valentine from 1981, which is
okay.
It takes place in like a coal mine area, a coal mine town.
Very cool.
And like a haunted coal miner. Dude, it's pretty enjoyable, and it's takes place around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely need to watch more foreign horror films, especially like I've watched some scary Korean films that aren't quite horror, but I feel like just knowing that vibe, I would dig it. And yeah. Waiting for like Matt to pop in because he's watched like every Italian horror film.
I mean, I'd gladly take some recommendations. I'm very lacking in my Italian cinema.
If I were to recommend like 3 to you, I'd watch Suspiria just because that's the one that everybody talks about.
I want to say I have seen Suspiria at some point. I just genuinely can't remember if I actually have. It's like one of those things like I probably watched that at some point, right? I don't know how drunk I got that night in college.
Cemetery Man, which is a more recent one.
I've heard of Cemetery Man. Yeah.
I still don't know what I watched, but I liked it. Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
We want Italian. We want Italian.
I'll take either, man. Like I've watched a good amount of Italian, but I haven't watched a lot of Korean horror films.
Oh, Tale of Two Sisters, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron's suggesting Tale of Two Sisters, which is on my watch list.
Okay.
I do want to watch that one. And the Beyond is another good Italian one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's full G. He has like a trilogy of like horror portals to hell. And
interesting.
I've watched all 3, and that's the one I like the most. Especially the ending is very like bleak.
I can do bleak.
Yeah. We'll move on while the fellas think.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, I saw The Devil. See, I didn't know if I would consider that one to be horror or not, but I think you're. I mean,
with a title like that, it sounds like it should be.
Also focuses on like a serial killer, so like yes,
yeah, I'd buy that.
Yeah, that was really good. I do recommend I Saw the Devil. By the way, Black Christmas and My Bloody Valentine, that's the original of both those. They both have like
the 2000s remakes.
They both have Black Christmas especially had like 3 remakes.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of them. Yeah.
Don't bother with them. The New York Ripper, yeah, that I think that's Fulci. As well. It's I think slasher.
Horrible things happen, but you're right.
Is that a movie? I'm gonna Google that later and see what happens. Let's move on to. We have 4 left.
Oh fuck! Hold on. I lost the list. There we go. Favorite slasher movie?
Yes. This was again, it's Scream, but since I already used that, um, and it is one of my favorite horror movies. It just doesn't quite fit for me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's slasher, but
I think it definitely fits in there. Leatherface absolutely fits into that oeuvre of like
yeah,
Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers type
yeah.
murderous character,
And
lumbering character
the
kind of thing.
sequels especially are very slashery.
Oh yeah, they fall more into those trappings as the series goes on. I think.
And Matt and I talked about this, how like the genre, like the subgenre that really gets to me is like backwoods horror.
Yeah.
So like, because I live in Pennsylvania, I live in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. Before, it's very it seemed plausible that like a crazy man could come out of the woods and like do shit.
Sure.
This is more like crazy Texas man, but it felt very real. Like, oh, yes. Oh yeah,
The Burning.
Matt's favorite slasher.
I've never heard of that one.
To The Burning. The only thing I did watch it. The only thing I really remember about it is that the weapon of choice are hedge clippers.
Oh,
which it's effective. I remember liking it. It's very much in the vein, although I think it predates it. It's very much in the vein of Friday the 13th.
Matt's got some suggestions for backwoods horror as well.
Yeah.
Backwoods slashers.
The backwoods stuff gets me.
There is something about it that I think, just having grown up in this area, like it just like people who
I've definitely
have
stopped at a gas station and I'm like, I don't want to be in here at night alone with you.
I went to a gas station one. You can my sister will remember this story. I went to a gas station in Fayette County once, and I walk in and there are these two people behind the counter just staring at me. I think I went in to buy a pack of cigarettes and pay for and pay for gas with cash, and they're just staring a hole through me. They both looked.
Did you look like one of them liberals?
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But they're staring at me with just like this leathered skin, this greasy, just filthy look about them, and there's something smoking behind the counter. Did not get an eye on what, but they're looking at me like I shouldn't be there. So I just paid and left.
Yep.
And
this is vaguely. Matt recommended a couple of backwoods horror. We got Prey, Madman, and The Final Terror, which are all three that I've heard of.
I've not. I think I may have heard of Prey.
Prey does sound a little familiar. I do want to check those out though, because most horror films don't actually scare me, but like backwoods stuff, I'm like, when we were shooting American Curse, out on the east side of the state,
out in the Poconos,
we stopped. I don't know, you may have been with us. I can't remember. That entire production is a blur.
It really is.
We stopped at like a middle of nowhere gas station. Didn't have quite the same experience you did, but it was definitely like.
Was this when we were out looking for Lucky Strikes?
Maybe.
This sounds vaguely familiar.
I don't think so, because I remember this was like on the way home, because we picked up some.
Oh, if it was on the way home, then no, because I was in a separate car with Matt.
They had a collection of old Italian horror films. It was like, you have your normal couple of DVDs. You're like, no one needs Top Gun again.
Yeah.
But then it was like Grave Disturbances. There's a couple other ones. I'm like, why are these old Italian horror films in this middle of nowhere gas station?
That's wild.
Carries like 3 brands of cigarettes. Cool. All right. Next question.
Underappreciated horror movie.
I have 2 recommendations. Well, I have 2. One, because I wouldn't recommend it for people to watch, but I love it. And one that people should watch is underappreciated. The first one is from 1967, and it's called Spider Baby, or The Maddest Story Ever Told. And it's very like Grindhouse. The effects are cheesy as hell, but the atmosphere of it is black and white. The atmosphere of it is fantastic. It has Lon Chaney, I think Jr., right? He plays like the chauffeur, and he's like trying to keep this clan of very rich people in this haunted house alive and functioning
Sure.
because they've like devolved so much. Very enjoyable. And oh shit, what's his name? Captain Spaulding.
Oh man.
Sid Haig.
Sid Haig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Rest
plays.
in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, bud. He's one of the children that's like devolved.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, he's great. He's
shit.
very young in it. And then
What a
this,
great horror actor.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
and then the second one is Lord of Illusions, which I think we talked about a little bit when we were doing our Clive Barker stuff.
Maybe. Yeah, this does sound vaguely familiar.
It's his other. So he has like two characters that he uses a lot. There's like the Hellraiser characters that everybody knows, and then there's like a detective.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
And in the movie, he's played by Scott Bakula, who's great. I love him.
Sure.
Probably not appropriately cast for this role because you're supposed to be like a moody noir, like nihilist, and Scott
That's
Bakula is
not,
not
yeah.
quite.
No, that doesn't quite fit.
But he's investigating this clan of magicians who are fucking around with the occult.
Matt's saying children shouldn't play with dead things.
I've not heard of that one.
I've not either.
Okay.
I will check that out. It's a hell of a title.
Yeah. The effects in Lord of Illusions, actually, they're practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
The computer effects, but I mean, it's bleak because it's Clive Barker.
Yeah,
with Scott Bakula dealing with like fucking wizards.
Sure,
it's really good.
Okay, next day. Yeah. Just favorite horror movie.
Matt also suggests The Faculty, which I've
heard of The Faculty.
It's Robert Rodriguez. I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
I do need to see that one. That one keeps on. It's like on my list every Halloween. I just never get to watch it. Favorite horror movie of all time is like it, much like The Thing and Seven. I like it so much it kind of surpasses genre. But I suppose you would definitely just describe The Shining as horror.
Oh sure. Yeah.
Like it is. Again,
you're talking about the Kubrick's Shining.
Yes.
The one that the one that King hates.
Yes, the one that Stephen King disowned. Which I just saw this thing the other day where like Kubrick subtly killed off Stephen King in the movie. Did you see this?
I remember hearing something about that.
There's like a car accident on the Sidewinder that rode up to the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah.
And the car that's crushed was the exact same model as Stephen King's. It was like a red Volkswagen Beetle.
Jesus.
It's like crushed by a tractor trailer.
I'm
like, Kubrick.
Stan,
buddy,
chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ.
He had no chill in that movie.
No, he's never had any chill ever. Are you kidding me?
Have you watched the like 20-25 minute mini doc that his daughter did?
No.
It's amazing. I think Vivian is her name.
Okay.
She was super young. She was on set, and so she was given like you can walk wherever you want. So she like talks to Jack Nicholson and oh my god, why am I Shelley Duvall?
Yeah.
And I think Scatman Crothers is the dude.
Hell yeah.
And like Jack Nicholson, it's interesting to see him kind of just be like an actorly actor because he's like, just ate some lamb and then I'm gonna brush my teeth because nobody wants me to breathe food in their face while I'm acting. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good man. Good on you.
And then Shelley Duvall is just a fucking mess, and Scatman Crothers is just like talking about how magical everything is, but he's like kind of crying while he's doing it. I'm like, that's so weird.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's worth a watch.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
It doesn't make the movie any less magical. It kind of makes it even kind of a little bit more scary.
Nice.
Do you have a favorite horror movie?
Oh god, that's a tough one. I'm struggling.
Okay.
You know, I'm genuinely not sure if I can like pinpoint a specific one. It might be Night of the Living Dead. Yeah. I think it might that's way fucking up there for me. It's so fucking good. The entire
Have you been up to the cemetery?
No.
Yeah. Fuck. What town is that? It's like another little small town. They might still, but they used to have like a festival up there.
Yeah.
And we found the cemetery and we like found I'm sure that I apologize to the family but like we found like the headstone where like he's like, we're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yes.
It was super cool. The farmhouse is no longer there, which is kind of a bummer. But
Matt's saying his favorite is Halloween, which I
For real?
almost said
I would
that
not have
too.
guessed.
Honestly, Halloween solid. The original Halloween is really good.
The 1978, I'm assuming. He also agrees with
Night
that
of the
one.
Living Dead.
Yeah, I'd adore it.
Sometimes my taste isn't terrible.
I don't know why I asked him if he meant the original, because like, there's no way that you would either say the Rob Zombie one or the one from 2016. I think 2016, 2018.
What is time?
Yes. That brings us to our last question.
The last question: what is your favorite thing to watch on Halloween?
So I normally put this on in the background while I'm like at a Halloween party, and sometimes it's not great because people have different sensibilities. But I love to put on the original Evil Dead from 1981. I love the way it looks. I can just kind of like look behind me and I'm like, yeah, that part, that's great.
I mean, that's pretty good.
But there's the infamous tree branch.
Oh yeah,
scene.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Which I did this in college. It was like I think my sophomore year, and I invited all the theater people, and there's some like very, especially like sexually conservative people.
Yeah,
that came, and I remember like looking over and like seeing them on the couch, and then looking at the TV and like, oh no, and they're just like kind of like huddling in. I'm like, I didn't mean anybody to actually watch this.
No, you're getting way too into it. Stop.
Yeah. And they were like, no.
Talk about something else. Talk about something else.
God, I love that movie. That's
I would say, I think more and more I've been shifting away from watching like actual horror movies on Halloween. I think the
Santa Claus.
Tim Allen's The Santa Claus. No, fuck that guy. No, I think I've actually really taken to, within the past like year or so, Over the Garden Wall.
Oh yeah,
it's just like
phenomenal.
Super like it's super appropriate for the time of year. It's like comforting and it's wholesome and delightful. It's such and creepy as hell at a number of points. Like, oh my god, that like, fucking beast is
pumpkin carving a pumpkin. Like,
oh my god, yeah, that was unnerving. Holy shit.
So good.
But yeah, that's just. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, Aaron doesn't watch anything on Halloween.
At least not purposefully.
Yeah.
Not purposefully. Okay. I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mine's more like at a Halloween party, I put in the background. On Halloween itself, I'm fucking at work or something. Anyway.
Yeah, more often than not.
If I'm lucky, I try to go to like a haunted house, but it's hard to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just read the other day that when they originally released the portions of, I think it was like 15-minute pieces, they animated the moon with the release date phase of the moon.
That's excellent.
it is so detailed. If you've not seen Over the Garden Wall, like watch it. It's beautiful.
A quick watch. Like the episodes are fairly short. They're like 15 minutes or so. I think
it might be either under an hour or like just over an hour long total
for the entire series. Yeah, like it is a mini series for sure. It's just so well put together, and
it's cute, but as Matt's saying, it's beautiful and disturbing.
Disturbing and beautiful is a very apt description. And the voice cast is great too.
It's Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. I think Christopher Lloyd's in there.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful, absolutely fantastic.
And every once in a great while, there's a song, mashed potatoes and molasses.
Potatoes and molasses, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like stuck in my head at work.
And it pops into my head now and then. Yeah, I don't work with food, and it just happens to me.
Yeah, just like playing with the mashed potatoes behind the lane, or the line. Yeah. It is a throwback animation style. Is that 1930s? Yeah. So that does it for our less than mini Halloween conversation.
Yeah, this turned into a lot more than we expected it to be, but with 31 days worth of shit and the way we banter on about things, just
our full-length Halloween
our full-length Halloween bonus episode.
Yeah. Thank you guys for talking, commenting. it added a lot, and I thank you for the movie
Yeah.
recommendations. I got a lot.
Yeah, for real.
Check
Like
out.
Matt, and Aaron, you guys added so much
Yeah.
to my watch list. Holy shit!
So now we're gonna take
We'll take a little break,
and
and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna go live again to record for the Troll 2 episode,
Yes.
which is gonna be released sooner than this one, I think. But or no, maybe this will
this
go.
will probably go first as like
Yeah.
a fill-in.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then this
Yeah.
one, I think this one actually comes out on Halloween.
Does it?
Yeah. Because
Wait,
technically Tuesday's
is Halloween
November
Is
1st,
Halloween on a Tuesday this year?
and it's on Monday.
It's on a Monday. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so Dia de los Muertos. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, but yeah. Thank you for watching and for listening. Those of you who tune in later. And yeah, just be sure to like and subscribe to the show on various platforms, whether you're on the YouTube or the Spotify or Apple or whatever, wherever the hell you're listening to this. Yeah.
We're slowly building an audience.
Yeah.
It's just pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's been exciting so far. We've definitely been getting some good traction with some of the latest episodes. Well, for frame of reference, we're recording this just not even a week after the last Airbender episode has come out, and it's been getting a lot of attention.
We're almost up to 200 total listens.
Yeah, which I think for how we've been going about things is pretty solid. Yeah, so please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts,
share it with your friends,
Podchaser, or wherever else you can review. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, your coworkers, whoever you think would be interested in this. Just please keep spreading the word. We are thrilled with how many people are into it, and all the feedback we've been getting has been great. And we hope you enjoy what's to come.
And we didn't plan a closer because this wasn't supposed to be full episodes.
Yeah, I know.
But enjoy the Halloweens and come back because we're sure to
razzle dazzle you.
Oh God, I have to pee. How do I turn this thing off?